Today is no different, folks. I got a real treat for you. Justin Waller's in the house. What's up, Justin?
How are you, man?
Folks, if you guys don't know who this dude is, he's an entrepreneur, influencer, business owner. He's got I would say a steel company.
Yep.
Real estate company.
Yes.
You're a world traveler.
I've got
international playboy.
Yeah, well, I've been accused of worse.
You're connected closely with the Tate bros.
Absolutely.
Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate.
Not back down from that either.
No, I wouldn't either, dude. I'd walk tall. Y'all are tall.
Yeah.
How tall are you?
I'm 6'3", barefoot.
How tall are they?
Andrew 6'3", Tristan 6'4".
Yeah, everybody's walking tall in that bitch.
Yeah.
You allow any shorties in? I'm 6'1". Can I join?
Man, you know what? Sterling says he's 6'1". I think he's 6 foot. But yeah, I mean, I guess you could turn up and stand next to Sterling.
All right. Do I got to fight though?
Huh?
Do you guys ever get in fights?
No, we don't argue at all.
Yeah,
never.
Don't need to.
Why? Everybody's winning. Nobody's upset about it. That's
right.
a good thing about having friends like that, is that you can fully be yourself and you don't have to play small to make people feel better. It's my favorite thing about the group.
Yeah, no, it sounds like you have a little bit of an accent.
I do. I'm from Louisiana. I'm Southern.
Louisiana.
So, yeah.
Now, how old are you? 36?
36. Yeah.
So where were you at 18?
18, I was finishing high school, getting ready to go play college football.
What happened there?
Went and played college football, got a scholarship, got my school paid for, cost me a shoulder.
What'd you study?
I studied construction management.
Okay. So you used your degree.
You could say so, yeah, but you know, just like we all know, it's like you can learn whatever you want to learn in school, but until you start taking those licks in actual business, you're not really, like, I wasn't prepared for guys' wives to come in and ask for a raise. I wasn't prepared for, you know, how workman's comp really works and insurance really works, and, you know, estimating and schedule of values and real life business in the real world. I don't think you're ready for that until it happens. So I did use my degree per se, but I can't say that I took much away from college outside of the character building things that happened in actually playing football. If I'm being completely honest.
What college did you play for?
A team called University of Louisiana Monroe. So actually I talk about this a lot, but we were that little team in 07 that beat Nick Saban. So big upset game. Yeah. So that's
worth bragging about.
It kind of is.
They just gave him a $93 million extension.
He deserves every penny. I think he's truly the GOAT.
Have you ever heard of Kevin Elko?
Yeah, I think I've heard of him.
Yeah, he like helps Saban with the team, and he's kind of a sports psychologist. Goes in there and gets people fucking pumped up.
Really? That's interesting.
Yeah. So you said it cost you a shoulder, so obviously you got hurt.
Yes, sir.
Did you have dreams of going to the NFL or something?
Not at all. Not at all. In fact, I think I was really lucky in that regard. It was always kind of transactional for me. Didn't really have a lot of money growing up. I'm the only kid of 5 that grew up in the house that went to college. So I quit. I was playing football, baseball, and basketball, and I quit the other 2 to gain weight because I knew it was my only way out. I lived in one of those towns where everybody goes to work in the plant on the Mississippi River. And I don't know if you ever seen that movie October Skies, but it's this movie about this kid. His dad works in a coal mine, everyone works in a coal mine, and he doesn't want to do it. And that was kind of me. I was gonna be damned if I worked in that fucking plant or any of those plants like Exxon, etc. So I went and played football, and I thought that I would end up in Dallas somewhere as a project manager, you know, with a truck allowance and a nice 401k or whatever. And that was an ignorance that I had. I didn't know any better at the time, you know, but it was certainly better than what my situation was.
Yeah. So, and how old were you about then?
19, 20, graduated college at 23.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I'm trying to get you to where you are today, but you know, there's a long gap there. You weren't born rich.
No.
You didn't have money.
No, absolutely not.
So you went to college though.
Yes, sir.
After that was over, you have a construction degree.
Yeah.
Which I didn't even know they existed, but okay.
The science of construction management. Yeah.
So did you go out and get a job in construction?
Yeah. So I graduated in 2009. So no jobs. So I dug ditches for this company called Austin Bridge and Road in a little town called Bastrop, Louisiana. They were doing an addition to their highway system.
Now this is at 22, 23?
This would be 2010. So I'm like 23, 24.
Okay.
Yeah. So I do that. Job ends, get laid off. I go back home and I start putting up metal buildings in backyards. My stepfather did metal buildings, and he would do like sheds, like 30 by 40s and stuff. So I'd either do that during the day
working for him.
Just packing panels and stuff like that. But then also I was waiting tables at Texas de Brazil in Baton Rouge. And it was
what do they do with that picanha, dude? Or is that what it's called? Picanha?
Picanha? I think they just put a bunch of garlic salt on it.
You know that steak? There's just one steak in there.
Yeah.
And dude, the other day I was at exactly a Texas de Brazil, and I'm like waiting on it. You know how they always come around? I feel bad for the dudes that like bring the shit that nobody wants.
Yeah, and you got to tell them no. Like the lamb and shit. Like, no, bro.
No.
Parmesan chicken.
But that dude with the picanha kept coming around, and he would only slice off a little sliver or two, and I'd say, "Can I get more?" And he said, "I have to go get more," but there was more there. Like, is there a rule about that or something?
You know, I don't know, man. I was a server. Those guys are called gauchos, and they have their little group, and they get tipped out. And then like the servers, that we're really supposed to just pump the caipirinhas. You know, that's where all the money is, right? They say that they don't make money off the steak, so I don't know.
Well, all I know is, dude, that fucker would not give me what I want, which was all picanha, or if that's what it's called. Is that what it's called?
Yeah. I think so, yes.
Dude, but anyway, so you were a waiter?
Yeah, I was waiting tables, and what I did is I got really relentless about how much I would go push to get a job. So there was this hospital job in town. They had the job site trailers out there. I'd gone in there twice, and the lady had turned me away. She's like, I can't let you see the boss or whatever. And so I said, okay, fine, and I came back again and again. On the fourth time I came, she goes, you know what? Stay right there. So she goes in the back. She gets an old, angry looking white guy, and he comes in. He said, "Are you Justin?" And I said, "Yes, sir." He said, "Come with me." So we go to the back, and he plops down in his desk, and he kind of makes a motion for me to slide it over. So I just kind of slide it over like this, right? And he leans back in his chair. He looks at it. He looks at me. He looks at it. And he throws it down on the table, and he goes, "So you mean to tell me that you've come onto my $40 million project 4 times, interrupting my gatekeeper, trying to see the boss so you can get a job?" And I said, "Yes, sir." And he leaned back in his chair, and he goes, "I like that shit." Gave me a job. And it was really important for me, because at that point I was waiting tables, and when I finally got in that job, I always knew I wanted to have a business. I'd read Rich Dad Poor Dad. I think my junior year of high school, we're going to go play Arkansas. And I was trying to distract myself, because it was a big deal, because Darren McFadden and Felix Jones and all them, like it was an exciting thing. So I always knew I wanted a business after reading Rich Dad Poor Dad. But in Louisiana, to get a contractor's license, you or somebody in your family has to have a net worth of $10,000. You could have put us all together and multiplied times 5. We did not have that. So what I did is I went to the bank, and I got them to auto draft everything out of my check except per diem. And so after 6 months, I had the 10 grand. So I went and applied for my contractor's license, residential. And then I took the 10 grand, I went and put it in another bank and applied for the commercial with the same 10 grand. And that was 12 years ago. So that's what.
But you obviously got it.
Yeah, I got it.
And then that is what allowed you to start your own business?
Yes, sir.
See, now what would you call that? Creative financing?
I guess.
Being clever? Because there's a lot of people that listen that, see and hear of people that now they're doing well. I always try to go back and get the story of how they did well and find the points where most people would have quit or most people wouldn't have thought of that, and try and, unpack it.
Unpack it, yeah.
Well, just because, a lot of people are like, they can't figure out how to be successful, and it blows my mind.
You know what's interesting to me is I think that they know. I always say that I'd much rather be tough than intelligent, because I think a lot of people know that if they just do what they know they're supposed to do, that voice in their head that's telling them, hey, you need to go do this, if they would just fucking do that, they would find themselves a lot better off. I think a lot of times it's in action. Now, don't get me wrong. I definitely think there's competencies and intelligence, especially like interpersonally, when you're trying to get a deal done or trying to really connect with another person. But a lot of times I feel like people know what they should do and they just don't do it.
Why do you think that is?
I don't think they know how to talk to themselves. They're like, let's say I go in the gym, for example. If I didn't want to go to the gym this morning, but all I do is lie to myself. I feel like we both have 2 voices in our heads.
We do.
We have like the little bitch voice, and then we have a grown ass man voice.
I call that the boss voice.
Do you? Okay, cool.
Or the king.
Yeah,
but,
I've made videos about this. Yeah, I definitely agree with that, because they're always conflicting. And so my goal is always to smother the child voice. And so the way I do that, particularly around working out or anything that I know I should be doing, is I just lie to myself and I say, look, I'm just going to go in there and do one set and leave. And the little bitch is like, okay, just one set and then we can go. I'm like, yeah, we can go, bitch. And then the next thing you know, you spend an hour because you get warmed up and you're like, this isn't so bad, or you start to get a pump or whatever it is. Or even if it's a work thing, man, you start to get a little progress. You're like, hey, I think we might be able to get this deal. You know, and you dig into it deeper and deeper and deeper. And I catch myself in what I call waves of momentum. So you can either use discipline or you can lie to yourself. I think discipline is very important, but also think in some ways it's a natural resource, you know. But I'll use discipline to get into the next phase. So like, you know how it's so much more fun to exercise when you're in better shape and you look jacked?
Of course.
So I'll use discipline to get to there. And then it's like, you know, progress. Just same thing in my business. I use discipline to get to a certain point, but once we started making fucking money, well, it's, you know, your wrist never hurts when the ball's going in. You know, like when your jumper's on, you're never bitching about your wrist hurting. It's only when you're missing or you don't want to get started. So for me, I use a mixture of discipline and lying to myself to make sure that I will manipulate myself into do shit that I'm supposed to do.
So do you think people are not doing it because they're listening to their bitch voice?
That, or they're sedated.
What about they're worried about what everybody else thinks?
I can tell you, man, in my life, that was one of the biggest challenges. I grew like growing up in the South, especially like where I am now. In fact, in some ways, I think I've been overcorrecting, you know, making sure people know I don't give a fuck what they think. But I think that most oftentimes suppression is wrapped in love. So if you want to go do something big with your life, let's say, it's going to be the people close to you that are threatened by you wanting to do something bigger with your life that are going to come to you and suppress you with, I'm worried about you. Don't you think you just want to get a normal job? Don't you want to just settle down? Don't you think you want to just do this over here? That's risky out there. Well, the truth is the risk is really in the inaction, right? Like, I can't imagine my life if I was putting on a fire retarded suit today and walking into Exxon. Isn't that more risky than the risk I took to be able to sit in front of you?
Well, sure.
I'd say so.
Yeah, but people are afraid for some reason of other people's opinion, which I don't get at all. I keep telling people, like, if people would just literally forget that other people existed. I'm not talking about being a rude dick. I'm talking about just not caring what other people think. Yeah. Everybody would take more risk. Everybody would fall more often and stand up and go again, and everybody would win. So I walk around, you know, especially on my content, I try to get people to, number one, raise their self-worth, because I think if you raise your self-worth, your net worth follows.
I completely agree with you. And I think that massive amounts of people leave greatness inside of them out of fear of what others will think, you know, and I did that for a very long time. It took me a while to get to the point where I would put myself out there, all out of fear of what people think. So I completely resonate with people that feel that way. But what I'll tell you is, once you do it, you realize that number one, people don't care about you as much as you think they do. And then number two, it's almost,
that's a bomb, folks. Better listen up. People need to understand that. Like, people don't care about you as much as you think they do.
Yeah, it's very true.
Nor do people need you as much as you think you do.
Right.
You think they do.
Right. And nor do you need them. And so there's that. And then a lot of times, you know, people will only love you if you suppress yourself for them. For example, I always get picked on in Louisiana for ordering healthy food or being in a certain amount of shape. It's almost like it's a reverse of fat shaming. You know, they want to suppress you and make you smaller so they can feel better about themselves. And if you realize that you're getting manipulated in that way, it starts to become very easy to take control of your own life, because they're going to love you until you do something great enough that they're going to now become uncomfortable and have to look back at their selves and the decisions that they made and be uncomfortable with themselves. And the only way they can fight that is to suppress you, because now they have to use you as a frame of reference from coming from the same place. And I think that's why suppression always gets wrapped in love, is people act like they care about you or they tell you you've changed. Well, fucking, I hope I've changed. I hope I'm changing every day, because that's where all the happiness is. You know, it's always climbing the mountain, not getting to the top, right?
Well, I like both, but I haven't found the top yet.
Well, you can't, because the thing is that if you get to the top of the mountain and you don't have a bigger mountain to climb, more consciousness, because I think success is like a two-way thing. It's climbing up the mountain and it's looking for other mountains to climb. Because if you get to the top, all you can do is self-sabotage back down. You know, that like that fire in you that gets excited. I think that's probably the most dangerous thing to lose.
Yeah, I would agree. Even having something to go after.
Right. That you're fired up about, that's bigger than you.
Yeah, just the other day I was talking about, like, I need to find something that gets me freaking fired up again. Almost like when you're, you know, on a team and you're going to play another team and it's the championship, or, you know, you got to win, that feeling. Right. I kind of don't have that with anything right now. I got big visions, and, you know, right. I'm motivated, don't get me wrong, but I don't have anything that like keeps me awake at night.
Yeah.
But it might be just because, you know, I've been killing it for a while.
Well, yeah. So I think that's the hardest thing for a guy like you. It's easier for me right now because I'm just coming to the space where I get to like try to let people get to know who I am. So that's very exciting to me. But I remember previous to that, I was sitting in my house putting dress shoes on to go to my construction company. I'm like looking out the back glass in my pool in the bamboo, and I'm like, man, it's a long way from the trailer park, right? And for a guy like you that's achieved so much, you know, I'm behind you quite a few years. So I still get to chase the things that you've already accomplished. So it's easier for me to have that fire where a guy like you that has accomplished so much. Like when you were telling me backstage about like the numbers and stuff and how all that stuff works, dude, I was fired up inside. That's exciting for me because I know that's an opportunity that I've not achieved yet. Haven't climbed that mountain yet. You've already climbed all these mountains. So it seems like it'd be increasingly difficult the more successful you are to find that fire, because then you just have to get outrageous about it.
Well, you just got to change your group.
Yeah.
Like you got
your atmosphere.
Well, you got to constantly change who you're hanging around.
Yeah.
If ever you're around a group of guys, even with like you and the what's, I don't know what you call that group that you guys.
Oh yeah. The friendship circle.
The friendship circle.
Me and Andrew and Tristan and Sterling and Shooter. Yeah.
Yeah. So like right now that's cool. But if everyone's kind of eventually just got complacent and
never happened,
and you didn't change that circle, you guys would all just eventually float out. And you make money and you're happy, but you lost that fire. And then guess what? Some other new crew comes up and you're like, oh, look at the young pups trying to come up. But at the end of the day, I always tell people, listen, I don't think anybody's better than you. I think they're just ahead of you in some cases.
Completely agree.
They're just ahead. But you know, I don't think I've actually achieved anything. Like I got to fix that negative self.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Cause like to me, it's like people are always like, you know, oh dude. And I'm like, dude, I ain't done shit yet. Yeah. Like I honestly really haven't. Like I need to hit the $1 billion mark. I think that's the new millionaire. Like until you hit 100 million, you know, I wouldn't talk much. Right. Mm-hmm. Especially nowadays, how easy it is to make money. You can make money doing so many things. There's people out there struggling, making less than 100 grand a year, busting their ass 80 hours a week, don't have time for their family. They don't get to take vacations just so they can make 100 grand. And it's like, they don't realize that if you put that work, that effort into just something else, you could make 100 mil.
I completely agree with you. You know, I think a lot of success has to do with the business model. You know, I think one of my biggest, I wouldn't call it a mistakes, but something that I was ignorant to, that if I could start over and do something different, I wouldn't have picked construction by any means.
I mean, dude, I'm telling you, it's hot right now,
bro. And it's just a hard business.
Yeah, but right now, like before real estate, just buying it up, now developing.
Yeah.
I know a couple of developers, dude, they're killing it.
Yeah, I'm looking at a deal actually in Pahrump. Yeah, that's actually one of the reasons I'm here. I'm going to drive up there. I'm looking at, there's this opportunity zone stuff going on that you can buy these properties, and basically instead of doing a 1031 exchange, you can just move it through the phases and take it out tax-free at the end of 10 years. Pretty cool.
My buddy owns a bunch of, I would say, storage facilities.
Yeah.
But they're not like, you know, storage. They're just huge open warehouses where big companies store their shit.
Yeah.
And that's all they do. And that's all he does. And he makes serious amounts of money. And I'm like, dude, why can't we just build these? This is cement with some steel.
It's what I do.
And some tin. Like the walls are thin.
It's exactly what I do.
They're not air conditioned.
Nope.
It's just like
insulated, maybe
basic ass construction.
Boxes. Yep.
Now, and this guy makes a fortune, dude.
Yeah.
Why can't we just go build those?
Bro, I'm trying to find the guy that'll do that because I can send my guys out there to do it at cost. I am trying to find that guy.
Well, what do you mean? What guy?
A developer that wants to do that.
Well, why don't you just become the guy?
You know, man.
Or at least hire the guys, because isn't that just a matter of knowing how to construct the building?
No, it's about the land development, making sure it's in the right area. It's the market research, making sure you can get it leased up. It's
So
not about building it.
Who would do that?
Well, the guy that I'm talking to right now on the Pahrump deal, he would know how to do that. Your guy would probably know how to do that.
But
there's a difference between being a contractor and a developer, is all I'm saying.
Is there?
Yeah.
See, shit people don't know will also get them stuck.
Yeah. So a lot of times I think the most dangerous things in your life are the things that you don't know are there.
So at some point, dude, you said, screw it, I'm going to start my own business.
I did.
And you started, obviously, did you have a deal to start it with, or did you start it and then go find deals?
Well, I started it, got my contractor's license, did all the LLC stuff, et cetera. And then I started going to bang doors. And so started out doing small buildings, backyard buildings. Well, once we got going, I think I started out with like 3 guys, $2,500 payroll. And I went and I just found mentors and I banged on doors and I got opportunities. I did a bunch of jobs for free. I lost money on a bunch of jobs. I had to quit at one point because I'd lost $30,000 on a job. So I'd have to wake up super early, go work out and estimate. And I finally won enough work to, set me up for a year again, commercial. So it was that transition from the backyard to the commercial buildings that was really a game changer. And then I got in an association called the Metal Building Contractors and Erectors Association. And that's when I started rubbing elbows with the biggest erectors in the country. And they would either get busy or sling me work. And then we started going national, even down to the islands and St. John and stuff like that. And then it just started scaling with all my customers around Louisiana. And 8 years later, because I would say somewhere around year 3 or 4, we started doing commercial. And so it'll be 12 years in March. But now, from California to Boston, we're all over the place, just putting steel up, airplane hangars, Costco's, rooms to go.
But at some point, old Jed became a millionaire.
Yes. Yeah.
What was that like?
Honestly, man, looking back, it was scary because then you realize how much, it's not a lot of money. And my goal when I was growing up was one day I'm going to make $50,000 a year. I very vividly remember that because the kids that made $50,000 a year lived in a house that had brick on it, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like they paid full price for lunch. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't past due. So for me, man, it was cool when I started making over 100,000 and then 200, and then I'd get hit, take too much work. I would have scaling issues or whatever, and we'd get bumped back down and I'd have a bad year. But when I finally put $1 million in the bank, it was really surreal to me. But then it was just a quick moment where I was like, okay, well, obviously,
this ain't enough. Yeah.
And I still feel that way every day. That's why I super resonate with what you said.
Well, when I was a kid, I always wanted to be a millionaire. At least that's what I thought.
Yeah.
And I thought a millionaire was more like someone that had 100 million. I just didn't know that
Right.
$1 million is not where you want,
Right.
because even 50 million, I suppose, but $1 million does not get you private jets and all the things you would think. But when I was a kid, dude, I thought as long as you were a millionaire, dude, you could have anything you wanted in life.
Right.
I was wrong.
It's not true.
So the million became a billion somewhere between like 35 and 45.
Yeah.
So
That's probably where I'm at right now, actually, at that time of my life where it's like, okay, well, you can have millions of dollars in the bank, but it's not going to suffice your lifetime. It's certainly not my lifestyle. So,
well, it took me 20 years to build this 8-figure company. And in the last 6 months, I've built, I'm building, but I've built another 3, maybe 4, going on 4. So I think each one of those will be worth $300 to $500 million each. So there's my billion.
Yeah.
And all I got to do is build those and liquidate.
Wouldn't you say that's how the game is though? It's like you push, and you get a little bit, and then you push again, and then all of a sudden you have this skill set that nobody can ever take from you, and you can multiply it, and that's when you kind of hit the compounding interest of winning as a businessman.
100%.
Yeah. Congratulations.
And or if you literally make the right decisions, because life boils down to choices.
Right.
You know, I've been married a couple times. I've made all the mistakes in the world.
Yeah.
I didn't do it the smart way. Yeah. I did it the hard way.
That's a big one too.
Yeah. So I wrote a book called The Hard Way, and it's just lessons I learned the hard way so other people don't have to. And what's funny is you're going to learn what's in that book regardless.
Yeah. It's just, do you want to go through it yourself?
How much are you going to pay is the question. $24.95 is the cheapest.
Yeah.
But if you
half your net worth's the other.
Exactly. But if you buy that book and you read the book, there's 16 chapters, 16 lessons, 16 stories of how I learned those lessons. And I'm telling you, people will be like, oh, well, no shit. Well, no shit. How come you're not doing it then? Because there's some simple shit. Like number one, well, that's unimportant.
Do it. I want to hear what number one is.
I want to know at some point you're running around and you meet Andrew Tate. Like, dude, the world didn't even know Andrew Tate other than, you know, his fighting career in the past. But all of a sudden he blows up. Now, how did you meet him?
I joined the War Room.
Okay. So you heard about him through social media too.
Yeah. So I saw him on Richard Cooper probably 2-3 years ago.
Really?
And yeah.
See, again, like I didn't even know who Andrew was up till maybe 3 months ago.
Yeah. So, I saw him on Richard Cooper, and he was saying things on the internet that I had been feeling and saying to people for a long time. So much so I like punched a hole in my Ford emblem when I was driving my F-150, right? And just out of laughter, you know, like he is saying things that I feel like 90-something% of men feel. And he was saying them out loud.
Number one, where do you see the full videos of all the shit? Because all I've ever seen of Andrew or Tristan are clips. Like is a soundbite out of this speech, or not speech, but talk or interview or whatever. I see clips. I've never seen a full video of anything. Where do you get those?
A lot of times it's just on other people's channels. If you type in Andrew Tate, you'll see full interviews, hour long, you know, hour plus, you know, it's everywhere.
Still?
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
they're still on these guys' channels. Richard Cooper, Fresh and Fit. Me and Tristan did over an hour on mine.
So how do they claim he's been banned if he's still all over the internet?
They just shut down his accounts. So they shut down his Instagram. They shut down all of Discord, which is where Hustlers University was. They shut down his YouTube. And if he had a Facebook, that would be gone as well. And they also attacked his payment processors.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. So he's now on Rumble. I spoke to him last night. He said that he's getting 30 plus followers a day. You know, and look, Andrew has
Folks,
helped.
there you go. If you want to follow Andrew Tate, go to Rumble. Download Rumble. If you're not already on Rumble, that's the supposed freedom of speech platform where you can say whatever the hell you want.
Right.
Which is why it's gaining so much popularity. I don't understand why people don't realize, dude, the American people are waking up to where, like, dude, this type of stupid censorship is ridiculous. Like, if you don't like what the fuck Andrew's saying,
don't watch it.
Change the fucking channel, you dipshit. Like, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
I don't like censorship at all. However, again, I think a lot of what Andrew is saying is real. Like he's just saying it point blank. He's not, you know, sugarcoating anything.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like we were talking about earlier. They're trying to pussyfy men, and Andrew is everything in the opposite direction of that.
Well, I think on some occasions he's a smart guy and he's saying things to get attention, like saying women can't drive. You can't blanket all women. There's there's women race car drivers that can drive like a motherfucker. So I think when he's saying stuff like that, he doesn't really believe all women can't drive. He's saying women can't drive for the attention.
Absolutely. And, you know, attention is currency in
I was going to say, and he got it.
And he got it. I think people want to misunderstand Andrew because they want to hate him.
Yeah. That's anybody though.
That's anybody.
That's what's wrong with society.
Right. They can't be happy for him.
But there's a lot of people that love his ass.
I would say that the majority love him. I think it's a very small fraction of people that don't love him.
Isn't that weird? And they control the internet.
They do because it's an agenda, right? Andrew has said many things that have changed the lives of young men, you know.
Absolutely.
I get 30 plus messages every day telling me that me and Andrew and that group of guys have absolutely changed their life. You know, young men that want to be strong, men that want to, you know, be ambitious, men that want to get in good shape, men that want to create a strong atmosphere in their life. And by the way, the stronger the men are, and I feel this way truly, if we really love our girls, our women, we will create strong men. Because if we don't, I find that women will be unfulfilled and always want to leave and then have to sleep with a bunch of men and then have that feeling inside of them, which I think that naturally women don't want to feel.
Yeah.
So Andrew is not only intelligent, he's one of the kindest, most incredibly wonderful people you will ever meet in real life. And I pick with Andrew. I'm like, Andrew, man, you know, the best side of you, the best part of Andrew is the part that the world never sees. And I think that people will grow to understand Andrew more even now after all of this has happened, because, you know, there's Cobra Tate, but then there's Andrew. And
is Cobra Tate what he went by fighting?
That was a brand. Yeah. It was his Instagram as his fight name.
Because I think he used to have a cobra on his chest. Now it looks like he had a cover up.
He has it. It runs down his arm, and it goes, and it is a cover up. It goes over his chest.
What was it before?
It was a cobra.
Now what is it?
Now I think it's still a cobra. I'm not really like
just a better cobra.
It. Yeah, better cobra, bigger cobra. But yeah,
so I see you traveling all over the world with them.
Yeah.
You know, now you guys are in Dubai, you're in freaking Romania, you're in London, you're running all over the place. What are you doing while you're running around?
So the last trip was a car rally. We took Lamborghinis and a bunch of supercars from England to France, Portugal, Spain.
How badass was that?
It was good, bro. It was good.
Almost like a gumball rally.
Yeah, it was a rally. It was a car rally.
Somebody asked me the other day if I would take 50 grand to go September 1 to frickin' somewhere and then drive Lambos down to, I think, Croatia.
Yeah.
And I'm like, absolutely. Are you 100% serious? They're like, yeah, we're trying to get it worked out.
Sick, man.
But it never happened.
You should come with us. Just come with us.
Well, where do you, I mean, they were going to pay me 50 grand.
Oh, they're going to pay you?
Yeah. And I'm like, dude, absolutely. What are you talking about? I'll book my flights right now, but it didn't happen. It's happening. The rally's happening. Right. Is that the kind of thing you were doing?
Yeah. Yeah. If you like it, man, you should come with us next year.
Well, normally you'd pay fucking 50 grand to do it.
Well, no, you wouldn't pay 50. I think it costs us like 10 or 12 to do it.
I'd do it 100%.
Yeah.
I'd roll with you guys in a fucking heartbeat.
Yeah. It's awesome, man. You know what it is? It's a bunch of toxic masculinity is what it is. It's a bunch of calling each other's names, and like it's true friendship. Yeah,
but I don't know if my wife would like it.
Well, bring her. Bring her, bro.
Then it kills the purpose of rolling around fucking Europe with a bunch of badasses.
You know what, bro? Not really, though.
Yeah, you know what's she gonna do though? Hang out in the hotel room and
she can
chill
ride,
at the pool.
You know, she can ride with you, whatever. Or you could just come, man.
Well, you do go like miles at a time, right? So you can't just leave her somewhere.
No, you can't.
None of you guys are bringing girls.
You know what we talked about doing this next one?
What?
Is renting a big bus and calling it the Whoopie bus. And just putting all the women in the bus, like make them hang out together. Even if you bring 2 or 3, just make them. Hey, be nice.
What? Yeah. So none of you guys are in relationships, or you guys have relationships? Do you guys bring chicks on those things?
I'll put it to you like this: any relationship that we're in with a woman, the woman is not left in the dark. She has choice. She understands everything. There's no catting around bullshit.
But do you guys just point blank tell them, hey, we're playboys.
This is who I am.
We like to hump.
Yeah, this is who I am.
We like to get down. Hey, and if a chick wants to get down and I want to get down, I'm not even going to notify you. I'm just going to start tearing that shit up.
Or you could help me and go recruit it and bring it in.
Yeehaw. You guys are doing the freaking.
Yeah, absolutely.
You guys are doing freaking major league stuff.
Absolutely, man. You're
recruiting wing women.
Why leave them out? Why leave them out?
If you're a top G, I would agree.
G, you know, because
what is that top G too? Like I've never heard top G until them. You know how
Andrew
I heard about
coined
Andrew
Top G.
Tate?
Yeah.
Somebody said something on one of my posts that said, basically, fuck you, bro. You're not the top G. And I'm like, and I didn't even know what he was talking about. And then something. He says, you're just trying to copy fucking Andrew Tate.
Yeah, man.
And I'm like, who the fuck is Andrew Tate? And then I'm scrolling on TikTok one day and I see fucking Andrew saying some shit. And I'm like, oh, who the fuck is this dude? This dude's cool. And then I thought, Andrew Tate. I think somebody emailed me to get on Dropping Bombs named Andrew Tate. And I'm looking, I can't find it. And it's because it says Emory Andrew Tate.
Yeah.
Is his name Emory?
Yeah. His father's name was Emory. He was a grand chess master.
Yeah. So fucking, he emailed me a while back and I'm fucking like a dumbass. I throw it to my assistant. If I'd have known it was him, I'd have said, fuck, let's go, bro.
Bro, I promise you will get along with Andrew. Like, it'll be easy, immediate, you know.
Now,
like like Andrew get along.
Dude, him and Tristan are close.
Absolutely.
Now, you five, what is there, 5 of you?
Yeah.
That walk around to, the group, the friendship circle.
Putting a hole in Europe.
Yeah. How did you all meet?
In the war room.
So it was just, how come, there's more people than you in the war room. How come the group's not bigger?
Well, you know how that goes, man. Cream rises. I'm the American dream. So, look, man, when you know how, like, when you look a guy in the eyes and I met Tristan first. I would say within about 2 or 3 minutes, I knew that me and Tristan would be friends forever, and it didn't take long,
Well, in the war room.
Yeah.
Number one, can people still join the war room?
Absolutely.
So if anybody wants to join the war room, where would they go?
They would message me on Instagram, JWaller7.
JWaller7, folks. JWaller7.
JWaller7 on Instagram. The war room is not going anywhere. In fact, I don't think there's a better men's group in the world. In fact, I know there's not. I've done a bunch of groups.
It's just so cheap, bro.
Listen, man.
I can't believe everybody's not doing it. When this episode drops, bro, I guarantee you're going to get a shit ton of people wanting to.
Good. I think it's the best group in the world. It helps you not step on those landmines. For the guys, beside the fact that you can make a lot of money working with the guys in the war room, it's about what you're not gonna have happen to you, like divorce, the landmines in life that blow your leg off and make you have to start over.
Yeah.
You're probably not going to go through a divorce. You're probably not going to get your heart broke as many times. You're probably going to have the ability to travel internationally and not get suppressed inside the walls of government.
And you'll probably have a better life enriched altogether, even
Absolutely.
travel. Like there's people that will never travel.
They'll never leave.
They're with the wrong people.
They're with the wrong people.
Earlier when I said you got to be around the right people or change the people you're around.
Absolutely.
The war room sounds like, again, if you want to freaking grow and almost get uncomfortable, you gotta hang around different people.
And it will be that. You'll be forged by fire in the war room.
How do people hang around people in the war room?
Yeah, so there's meetups. A lot of the meetups, in fact, there was a meetup here in Vegas I went to and nobody even knew I was coming, and I just walked in and they knew me from YouTube and obviously seeing me with Andrew, and it was a free event. And then there's summits where we go deep and dig into certain parts of either consciousness or skill set or their ability to fight or work out or what have you, or fashion or how to network. There was an event in Dubai called Penetrating the Elite. It was a world-class event, man. And that's where the bigger ticket prices are. But these guys are getting the value and some because they make the money back. We went over proper table etiquette, proper how to network, proper how to shake hands, proper how to look somebody in the eye, fashion, what other men of certain stature look for on things, the little subtleties.
Now, if I went to that, would I be thinking, I didn't realize that? Or would I be thinking, well, no shit.
No, I think if you're a war room guy, you're going to get your money back 20x. I can't speak for you, but I know that the war room has made me a better man in every way. And if it hadn't, I would not vouch for it the way that I do.
Is it $5,000 a year?
Yeah. Right now, you can lock the price in right now.
I'm telling you, it's worth more than that.
It is. It absolutely is.
I would tell Andrew, listen, let's come up with another level, like War Room Elite or War Room Top G, whatever Top G means.
Yeah,
Is that Top Gangster? What is G?
I think it's just, yeah, man. It's got to be. I guess it's gangster. You know, I never said G a whole lot before the War Room, but now it kind of gets pushed into your consciousness. The reason I think the price is where it is because Andrew has a heart for young men, and I think $5,000 is enough to keep the complete retards out, but at the same time attainable for a young guy that wants to work hard and put some money back and make an investment in himself. And that's why I think it stays around 5, but I do not think it's going to stay around 5 for very long. So if you guys are interested, you should message me immediately. You can put a deposit down and lock that price in. And that's kind of like a War Room Bitcoin, if you will, because I don't think the price is going to stay where it is.
So where do you guys meet? All over the world?
All over the world. Yeah.
And obviously you got to get there.
Right.
So what if I pay $5,000 and that's all my money, and now fucking you guys are showing up in Bucharest or what's it called? Bucharest?
Bucharest, yeah. There must be 30 or 40 War Room guys just in Las Vegas.
There's a Budapest as well. That's Turkey.
There is a Budapest, but
Is that Turkey?
Been. I have no idea.
Budapest.
I have no idea. So you're gonna Google it?
Siri, where is Budapest?
Here's Budapest, Hungary.
Hungary.
Dude,
I
don't think there's much going on.
I always
in
make
Hungary.
jokes, and because I'm bad at knowing where shit is, and I always say
Yeah.
I didn't pass biography. Everyone laughs because it's geography.
Yeah.
But I am terrible at geography. Like, I don't know where shit is outside the U.S.
Man, I'm gonna be honest with you. There's so much I didn't know about the world before I joined the War Room, geography included. And now it's like my newest addiction is watching those Wendover videos that talk about like global economics and wars and and it's all because of the War Room. I feel like I'm more worldly in every way.
Yeah. Well, the Tates are.
Absolutely.
'Cause
72 countries.
Yeah, I mean, they lived here, grew up here, and then bounced around. Why'd they bounce around? Was their dad military?
No, their dad was a chess player.
So he went everywhere?
Yeah, so he went all over the place. The original G, right? And
He's the OG.
The OG. Yeah. So he was a chess master. He was going all over the place. And he and Andrew's mother split up, and she decided to go back to England. And they grew up in a little town called Luton. And Luton is not the best part of town. I actually was just in Luton. We had an extra day, so we popped up and brought Andrew's mom flowers. It's fucking hilarious. He grew up in Luton, and then he started kickboxing. He had a Bosnian kickboxing coach that really helped him out a lot, but he also kept a very close relationship with his father. His father was very impactful on him from a distance. You know, they talked a lot. They stayed in touch. He could probably tell you the story better, but Emery had a great effect on Andrew in that regard from my experience of talking with Andrew about it. And so he got into kickboxing. So did Tristan. And they, just like me, just like any normal young guy, not a lot of money, worked really hard to kickbox, made a little bit of money kickboxing, but not a lot, not what you would think. Got out, started a media company, made a little bit of money like that, and got into some other businesses and made his first $1 million, started going online and became, Andrew Tate.
So he's been around longer than...
Yeah, man, I think he's been on the internet like 6 years.
Really?
Yeah.
It seems like he just came out of nowhere.
Well,
but that's how it always is. Like
it's always that.
20 years to be an overnight success.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like what we talked about earlier with you. It's like you build all these skill sets, and then all of a sudden it finally, catches compounding interest. And I think that's what happened. He worked really hard for it. It didn't happen overnight. It took him 6 years online, making video after video after video. If you ever spend any time around him, it'll seem like he's being quiet, but he stays on his phone a lot, and he's just working. He just works 24 hours a day. And I don't think that he's upset that they took his platforms away. He's going to win anyway. Winners win regardless. Just like I always say, it's like, I don't give a fuck who the president is. I don't care what they decide to do. Like, I'm going to find a way to win. And I think over time you see that winners do win in all conditions in every decade. And Andrew is one of those people. He's not going to back down from it. He is on Rumble. He'll be on whatever platform allows him on next, and he's going to win regardless. So outside of this little bit of, media push against him, I think it'll soon be forgotten. And I think the truth about Andrew will come out because that is who Andrew is. And if you want to get to know Andrew closer, then you should join the War Room, and you should message me about it. And you'll find out very quickly that he's a man of his word. He's a man of honor. He's a man of integrity. And he's not going to run from this shit just because a couple of bitch boys that want to get a girlfriend that can't get a girl want to play the card of that he's a misogynist. It's fucking bullshit.
Well, when you saw the news, Andrew Tate banned from Instagram, Facebook, yada yada, you start to see some of these other people now be like, well, fucking thank God, and stupid shit. Like people I wouldn't have expected to say it. Are you think they're jumping on the bandwagon?
I absolutely do. You know, I was asked to do a video about it the other day, and I just didn't know if I wanted to get views off of it, you know, because it was my friend in a bad spot. I talked with Sartorial this morning, the Australian guy from Dubai, and we talked about it more, and he's like, you know what, man, fuck it, you know, blow it up. So I wouldn't be surprised if they knocked all of us off of social media at some point, but
that's why we need our own social media.
Yeah. So I think that decentralizing social media is going to be the biggest thing. Even the platform he's on now is owned by someone that can be 100%.
Bought. And dude, listen, as far as much as I'm against censorship, I'm also like a true entrepreneur, which means if it's my fucking platform and I don't like you, fuck you.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't have to leave. I don't have to put you on my shit.
As it should be.
But I just wish the platform owners were all, you know, more right leaning. And again, not way right and not way left, but just right leaning. Cause like, dude, how do you I wouldn't listen if I don't like what Andrew's saying, I'd just unfollow and find something else.
Right.
And if I saw him, I'd just keep scrolling. Like I wouldn't sit there and try to hunt him down and report him and I'm sure he got reported 1,000 times.
Oh, I'm sure he
who
did.
takes the time to report somebody? You got to be.
You
need something better to do with your life if you're sitting there worried about other people. Like haters on social media blow my mind.
Yeah.
But hey, that's what fuels it.
But they don't have anything going for them, man. Like Andrew is everything that those guys are not. You know. In fact, I was looking on my Instagram yesterday, and it tells me that I can't monetize because of my content. And
what do you mean?
I went to look in it, and it was like, you can't monetize your page because of whatever, XYZ.
Might be XY Tate.
It could be. It very well could be. But you know what? Fuck it.
They got a bad Tate in their mouth.
Yeah, maybe. So, look, man, but I'll lay on that sword with him, man. He's one of my best friends. I would rather lose my platform than turn my back on him, because I know that he wouldn't turn his back on me. He's not going to turn his back on the people that follow him. He's going to find a way to meet them there. Right now, that is the War Room and Rumble, and I have no concern. It's just a part of life. No man
makes me want to join just hearing about it.
Yeah, well, look, man.
But I'd have to be in the top G circle.
Hey, bro, listen. I told you, man. Come turn up.
I don't want to. When's the next event?
I'll find out. I'll get you hooked up.
All right. Yeah. Maybe I'll join.
Yeah. Well, you definitely need to.
I don't want to get canceled though.
You need to come on the car rally with us, man.
That I'll do. Yeah. That I'll do, bro.
So in Romania, there's something called the Transfigurion, where they built it. I think they built it in war times, but it is one of the most beautiful twisting and turning roads through the mountains that you will ever see. Waterfalls, bro. It looks fake, man. It looks fake.
I just don't like being international, because once you're outside the United States, next thing you know, you ever seen Locked Up Abroad? Maybe it's just
it's not going to happen, bro.
But like, dude, I would hate to be somewhere and they're like, you don't even speak the language and now you're fucked. You're going to
Everybody
prison.
speaks English, bro.
Everywhere?
Surprisingly.
All over the United States? I mean, all over the country? World?
Look, I'm not going to say I've never used Google Translate. I'm undefeated with women with Google Translate. I think it helps you because it's playful and you have to actually kind of interact. But outside of South America, all of Europe, all of Dubai, everybody's speaking English, man.
If you could live anywhere, where would it be?
I get asked this a lot. England's definitely out. It's very dangerous. France is very dangerous, despite belief. Dubai is very clean and very safe. But I would say Eastern Europe somewhere, or Southern California minus the taxes and Democrat atmosphere. I like Miami though. That's where I live now. I like Miami a lot.
You live in Miami.
I do.
I don't like humidity.
You know, the wind blows it off of you. You want humidity, go to Louisiana.
Or Nashville, where I just got a house.
Oh, did you? I heard that's blowing up, man.
It is, but my wife, she thinks everyone's going to be exchanging peach pies and going to the county fair, and she loves country music, so she's
Me
like,
too.
she thinks everything's down there is going to be just real nice,
nice,
and it might be.
I like this lady.
Yeah, so I told her, listen, we'll get a house down there. We'll get a house down there and see how we like it, but we go from here, it's hot as shit. We go there, it's hot as shit. Now it's humid. I'd rather be dry.
That's way worse. That's way worse. I'll tell you, it's the same for the cold. 40 degrees or 35 degrees in Louisiana, I would much rather be over here where it's substantially colder, because you're wet cold, and that goes to the bones.
Dude, so what are you doing next?
Next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to do my best to blow the YouTube channel up this year. We're 1 year in. We just made a year.
What's the YouTube channel?
Jay Waller. So it's just talking about everything between relationships, money, mindset, anything that would help a young man. There's a lot of collaborations on there that I'm bringing guys on that are helping young guys and helping getting their I guess their golden nuggets of whatever advice that they would give a young man, just anything to help those guys. I'm pushing guys into the war room every day, because I do feel like it's the best thing a young man could possibly do, to really understand what's going on in the world and how to adapt to it and make sure that he wins.
How do you plug in to the war room without going anywhere? I mean, do you guys have like Zooms or Discord or anything?
Yeah, so we talk on a platform. I'm not going to name the platform. It's a very easy platform. I don't think it's at risk of being shut down. I just don't want to be the reason.
Yeah, but you can jump into
you jump in. So there's
room.
Different chats. So there's rooms on style, relationships, how to raise a son, how to raise a daughter, traveling.
And is it just
crypto.
Everybody's opinions, or is it certain people's opinions?
No, it's everybody. And we're just chopping it up, and we'll even argue in there. And that's one thing I love about the war room, is that it takes the politics away from friendship. If I really love you, I think there's a polarity to love. And what I mean by that is anybody can pat you on the back. But if I really care about you and you're fucking up, I'll stand in your fire. I will confront you, and you could be mad at me, but at least I'm not selfish enough to worry about you being upset with me, because I love you so much. I'll confront you. And that, to me, in a nutshell, is what the war room is.
Dude, love ain't lies.
That's
you ever
it.
heard that?
Nah.
Love ain't lies.
Yeah.
Like, people want to get lied to. That ain't love.
No.
Sometimes you got to be told the truth.
Right. The harsh truth.
And it doesn't feel good. And guess what? That's what finally causes you to fucking shift and get the hell out of that.
And real love has courage. And a lot of people don't have the courage to confront people they care about. They'll pat them on the back, wait till they leave, and tell somebody else, man, he's fucking up. That's not a friend. The war room is not that way.
But more importantly, there's a network of guys in there that probably have businesses.
Everybody in there has a business, and it's all connected.
And it's all about, like, if you're in the war room, dude, if I'm going to do business with somebody, why not my war room brother rather than some stranger?
Right. You already know what that person's about. It's almost like it's almost having like the perfect company culture. Nobody's going to screw you over in the war room, because then they have to face the rest of the guys. It's just not going to happen. You already know what this person's about. I can go in the war room right now and say, hey, I need a place to stay for the next year. I would get messages from 50 countries. They would put me like nothing to worry about.
And they're all over the place.
All over the world.
Where is Andrew and Tristan right now?
Bucharest.
That's where they live.
Yeah.
Like if like when there's a home, that's where it is.
Yeah.
Now, is that a big city?
It's medium size. It's it's
is
not a major.
Is it dangerous?
Absolutely
not.
Is
it sordid?
It's safe. It's absolutely safe.
Are the police, crooked?
I think that the cool thing about Bucharest is that they're not halfway crooks. So if you get pulled over and you hand a cop 500 lei, he's probably going to let you roll.
What language do they speak?
They speak English.
Mainly, what do they speak?
Romanian, but I've never had to talk to a girl and translate anything. All the girls speak English
in Bucharest.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. It was my same experience when I was in Ukraine.
Well, how did they end up in Bucharest?
Because they are Romanian. Oh, the guys. So when they were doing kickboxing, there was this promoter had this big deal, right? And they went over and they would fight and at his events, and then they started commentating, and then they started going more, and then they started to get connected, and from there, man, they just built a life. They really like it there. Eastern Europe is absolutely stunning.
Cuban cigars flow freely
everywhere. You can do what you want. I'll tell you another thing that I think is really cool. I was just there, a month ago, and we're driving around, and there's this huge building, and it was where the dictator used to stay when they were still communists. And there's this huge parking lot, and people were just out there hanging out, picnicking, doing all. They come to watch the fountains, do the light show. It's kind of like being in the 90s. They're like 30 years behind, bro. And it's beautiful. So in Miami, when I'm walking downstairs, all you see is dog, 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 dog. If that were Bucharest, it would be child, their families. It's beautiful. It's a very Christian country.
A lot of green, a lot of trees. How's the weather?
Weather's good, man. I like it a lot. It's not too hot. It's not overly humid. It's a very nice place, and it's beautiful. So Bucharest itself, you can kind of tell where the communist, architecture is versus where, they started building some other things. But it's a wonderful town. I understand completely why they stay. I certainly understand why they live in Europe, because they're jumping countries like we would jump states. And to be quite honest, America is very cookie cutter, right? So you get off at the exit, you're going to find a Walmart, a Target, a Whole Foods, whatever. In Europe, it's the oldest buildings in the world. Nothing is ever the same. You have to kind of understand your surroundings. It's not as convenient as America, but I think in every way it's beautiful. It's a very nice place to be.
Another thing I think you guys should create is a divorced group.
There's a room on how to make sure that you exit with minimal damage.
Well, that's good too. But I'm talking about, let's pretend someone got divorced.
Yeah.
Heartbreaking divorce. They were cheated on, whatever. They didn't want to get divorced, but they did.
Yeah.
Those dudes, I feel bad for, because, dude, listen, they sit at home. They're fucking asking themselves a million questions. They're frozen in time, it seems. They're depressed all over a girl that freaking obviously wasn't even worth shit, or she wouldn't have cheated. So at the end of the day, you provide a place for those people. And, get them around guys like you and Andrew, they fucking feel better instantly.
Dude, what's crazy, man, is we're creating men that don't get cheated on. And what I mean by that is we are teaching them things that keep the frame right way before any cheating goes on. Way, way before that. It's the small subtleties. They don't take death by 1,000 cuts and then have one huge explosion. We stop it at first cut. And I believe truly a man that gets cheated on, it's ultimately his fault. He just doesn't understand why. Because
maybe he's not dicking her down right. Maybe he's not giving her any attention.
Right. Or he's not making sure that he becomes the man that she would never cheat on because she knew she could never replace him. We're trying.
But again, everyone can't do that. That's a hard thing to achieve. Like if you're a blue collar worker and you found a girl maybe out of your league, and she develops, you develop, and she realizes you have no ambition, you don't want any more out of life.
You can't be in the war room.
And in her mind, you're probably not going anywhere.
Yeah.
They want out.
Right. That's how Pergamus nature. But I guess the point I'm trying to make is that if you're doing all of those things and you're not getting better and you're in the war room, you will get cut. We don't accept it. It's trial by fire. So if you're a tradesman and you're making $50,000 to $70,000 a year, you're going to get in shape. You are going to learn how to control your relationship and be an assertive male that she wants to follow. You're going to learn to lead, and you're going to be pushed to get a raise or start your own business, or you are going to get the fuck out, grow or leave. That's it.
I like that.
And so
it makes people want to join just to get the information.
Yeah. And
Can you join anonymously?
No, you can't.
There's going to be people out there that are like, fucking, I want to join, but I don't want to let people know that I don't know.
Well, so here's the thing.
He calls them Andrew calls broke people brokies.
Yeah,
by the
he
way.
does.
Dude,
He
I've been
does.
fucking saying that for 100 years.
Yeah.
Like I've always called them brokies and richies for that matter. Like if
Yeah.
you got a lot of money, dude, when I was growing up, there was these, kids that came from money. They were richies. We were brokies. It's fucking crazy that he's now got that. And you know what's stupid?
Right.
The other day I said something, I forget which post, and I said brokey, and sure enough, I get the fucking Tate followers in there saying I'm copying Andrew. I'm like, dude, how old is Andrew?
He's 35.
Yeah, like, dude, I was banging bitches when he was fucking in diapers. Like, what are they talking about? Like, come on, dude. I didn't copy him. If I copied him, I'd give him credit. You know why? Because I have no problem saying this motherfucker's a badass.
Right.
Some guys do.
Right. Well, so the thing about him is that he would have no problem saying the same to you. And I find that for guys that have achieved certain things, they're okay with other people being awesome. A lot of the people that are going to talk shit on the internet are the people that don't feel good about themselves.
100%.
They want to belittle you in some way, so there's some glimmer of hope that they can feel better. But the truth is, it's not going to make you feel better. The only thing that's going to make you feel better and secure in yourself is achieving.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude. I know somebody with, let's just say, $500 million.
Yeah.
Buff dude, like good. I mean, I don't know about good looking, but decent looking dude.
You ain't got to be good looking if you're worth $500 million, bro.
I know. Well, that makes you good looking, but point being is this guy's a freaking stud.
Yeah.
And that some bitch is worried about me. And it's like, I get news from him talking shit about me.
Really? Would I know him?
You'd know of him.
Yeah.
But like, I can't figure out why he is so fucking worried about me.
Maybe it's that handsome smile and that salt and pepper, bro. Some
Maybe
people just hate it.
but that's
dude.
my point. Like, dude, some people
just
look,
hate
look.
it.
I can say when a dude's better looking than me, or at least in my opinion, and I can say if a dude's cooler than me, or a dude's funnier than me, or a dude's richer than me. Like, who cares? Like, bringing you down doesn't build me up.
Yeah, man.
Matter of fact, building you up builds me up.
Right. It makes you look secure.
But people don't get that.
No, they don't.
Stupid. And they also don't get that hate, when they're trying to hate on you, actually fuels you. So if you truly hate somebody, shut the fuck up about them.
Yeah.
Do not say a word about them. Don't share it. Don't complain about it. Don't mention it. Don't comment. Don't, like, if Andrew got 0 engagement, if Andrew's all his posts, everyone just would have scrolled past and everyone said a word, nobody would have got freaking crazy on any of it,
nothing would have happened.
He'd be sitting there going, I don't get it.
Yeah.
But that hate that you think you're hating and you think you're harming, you're not doing shit, bro.
You're probably
actually
making them
fueling
more money.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're getting them
fueling
more
them.
attention. Yeah.
Dude, so yeah, if you guys want to join the war room, go to J Waller 7, just like it sounds. The letter J Waller, WALLER, the number 7, J Waller 7 on Instagram. Your YouTube is J Waller, same thing.
Yep.
Now, do you have TikTok?
I have some guys putting some stuff on TikTok. I don't personally have a TikTok now.
See, why? Is that the top G way to do it?
No.
Do I need to cancel my TikTok?
No, man. I just
And by the way, how do I get everybody in Hustler University to post my shit?
Hey, man, you're gonna have to ask Andrew. Bro.
But that could be another business. See, I'm an idea guy. Like, that could be another business model. Like, Tate can blow up other people,
Yeah, he could for sure.
and that would be worth dough too.
He could.
Well, if he could get, if he had him,
Yeah.
post him, he could say now post Jay.
We were gonna do it, man, but because of the way the code was set up. Because me and Andrew decided that I would affiliate with him, but because of the entry into Discord and the coding or something, I couldn't do it. I had 70 guys waiting to blow my content, but it just wouldn't have worked because it was like a coding thing with the money. So, but I don't mind saying that openly, man, because I feel like it's unethical to sell anything that if you don't sell it to that person, you feel like you fucked them over. And if you can get to there, and that's how I feel about the War Room, particularly, is if I don't get you to join the War Room, I feel like I have let you down. If you can't get to there selling something, then you need to sell something else. And that's how I feel about it, truly.
Damn, see, I always interrupt because if I don't, I forget what the hell I was going to
Go
say.
ahead, man.
I forgot. Well, I mean, normally I will. People hate on me for that too. They're like, let the fucker talk.
Do whatever, bro. It's
but
your
I'll
fucking
forget.
show.
I'll forget. You know, not only that, but this is a conversation. I forget
Yeah.
that we're even having a show.
Well, that's the best ones.
Yeah. So what the hell was I going to say? Anyway, it'll come back to me. So, damn.
It's the integrity of selling something you believe in so much that you feel like you're screwing somebody over if they don't buy it from you. That's what I was talking about.
Well, fuck.
But you might have been thinking about that TikTok model.
Oh yeah. My question.
Okay, go.
How do all those people get the content? Because like, number one, I noticed you don't have a camera guy with you. So if you want to listen to this Top G, I'd say you should have a camera guy with you everywhere you go.
Yeah, you know what? I just hired a guy. He's been with me in Tahoe, but he likes to go back to Miami. So I might be dragging him everywhere this year.
Well, you should. Yeah. Number one, shows you can afford it. It's another fucking, what do you call it? Flex.
Yeah.
You know, I
It's
show
Top
up
G flex.
with two sometimes. People are like, fuck, damn.
Yeah. Do you have them, you know, so I was on his ass about like creating a way for us to record always. Do you have them follow you everywhere? Like in the airport and shit?
Dude, everywhere but the bedroom and the bathroom.
Okay.
Now,
cool. We're going to, Thomas, you heard that.
Well, again, I'm telling you, dude, you want me to show you how I built my brand, and I had nobody posting my shit, and I'm up to 1.3 million followers and growing. But
is there a compounding effect? Like once you get to a certain number, it starts jumping?
Well, yeah, because you know, then people say, "Oh, he's got 1 million followers. He must be somebody."
Right.
Even though you're nobody, you're nobody different than you were at
yesterday.
1,000 followers.
Yeah.
But people are flock animals, meaning they do what the rest of them are doing. So the bigger your numbers, the bigger your following. That's why people buy the fake shit. I've never bought any fake shit. I get hit up all the time with, "Hey, I can push you to here and put." Dude, listen, if they're fake followers, they're worthless.
Right.
Why do you want fake followers? The only reason you would want fake followers is to look cool. Well, if I'm called the real Brad Lee, how the fuck would it look if I was faking it? So I've never done that, but again, I'm gaining steam. A lot of people say I'm like, you know, old Andrew Tate with my words. I'm just not as harsh, and I don't agree. I think I'm just as harsh. I think he's saying stuff like women can't drive for attention. I don't say shit like that. He
might say a triggering thing from time to time.
Yeah, and I don't say shit like that because I don't believe that. Right. You know, for one thing, I'm a big fan of women. Like I'm not against women. I'm for women. I love women.
Us too.
Yeah. So and it's not. I don't think they're just hump toys. I think they're unbelievable. So maybe that's why. But the question was, where are they getting his content? Because
I think they're pulling it off of his stuff.
I know, but I see the same clips over and over. Like I don't see, why doesn't he have a constant flow of content?
Are you talking about like just them recycling content?
Yeah. Well, the clips I see, I don't see any other clips except it's the same one. Like I see this guy saying it, then I see him saying it here, then I see him saying it there. Then I see a new clip. So there are multiple clips of Andrew, but they're in other words, I see it shared by multiple accounts, but it's the same clip. So how come he doesn't have a massive library of content?
I've never asked Andrew that, but if I had to guess, I would say that he probably thinks that some of his content is more scalable than other content. Maybe might get a certain reaction that will go viral. And so maybe he would dump that content into the hands of the people that were going to spread it. I don't know that for a fact, but I do know that a lot of the content that people randomly pull of me is just randomly from other things. And I see it later on TikTok or YouTube or wherever. So,
well, I got a lot of people in the Bomb Squad. What would the Bomb Squad need to do if they wanted to blow me up? If they wanted to do me a favor, since I'm bringing you so much value every day for over 500 episodes, never asked you for a fucking dime. Just take a couple clips of OBL and share them.
Yeah, man, share them with the world. Make sure they're the ones that'll probably piss the most people off.
Should I set up an affiliate deal so they get paid?
Maybe.
Because
I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Me either, dude. That's smart. But that was one of the reasons he got people to do it, because they got paid.
They got paid. Yeah.
Yeah, I got to figure out how to monetize that shit and then get the whole world sharing me.
Yeah, man.
Because I don't mind being hated on.
No, bro. It's kind of freedom.
I wouldn't have anticipated getting canceled though.
No,
because like you think, this is going awesome, and all of a sudden the real power of the world says no. Click. Yeah. Now you're silent, but you can still make it even without social media.
Absolutely, and he's going to on Rumble.
Yeah. Well,
So-
again, everybody go to Rumble, but I'll give you this and then we'll shut her down because I know you got to get. Here's how I built my brand. And again, listen to obviously fucking Andrew. He did far better than I did, but here's what I did and it works. And it works for anybody, but you just got to do it. Number one, most people are afraid of being themselves. They're worried about what everybody else thinks. So first you have to figure out who you are and like yourself or this doesn't work.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that.
Yeah, and I teach people what I call the sacred six to get their confidence and their self-worth up, because if without that, this is hard to do. With that, this is easy to do. But number one, you have what we call the source. What is the source of your content? So the source of my content is me. Everybody else is trying to figure out content. People don't want to see what you think they should see. People want to see you be you. They're Andrew. That's Andrew talking. That's Andrew walking around and being Andrew. You see me, it's me being me. So how do you get that content? Well, you got to have a fucking camera guy, dude. That's why I got one here. Because guess what? I'm being me right now. This is me.
Yeah.
This clip might end up on social media. I don't know, because I'm not the one that picks the clips. I got to see when you guys see what I post, because I have a team that goes and watches all those hours of lameness and says, oh, that was
the
funny.
good stuff.
Yeah, that was good. But that's what I call the source. But the most important thing about the source, Justin, is you got to literally not worry about making content and be the content. Make sense?
I love that.
Like, be the fucking content. Don't make it. Don't think, what should I say? And how do I sound cool? And how do I sound smart? Just fucking be yourself. If you're cool and smart, it'll show. And if you're not, guess what? That's okay. You can't worry about what other people think, because somebody will think you're cool regardless.
Yeah.
So that's what everyone has to get past, is like, be yourself, say what you fucking feel. Don't worry about the rest of the world, and just have a camera on you, capturing you, being you throughout the day. You talk to your kids, you talk to your wife, you talk to your friends, you talk to your customers, you talk to yourself. It doesn't matter. Film that shit. Nobody wants to see you typing on a computer for 14 minutes. So obviously you can turn the camera off when you're by yourself typing and answering emails. But as soon as the phone rings, what's up? Oh yeah, maybe it's an ex-girlfriend calling you and you get in a fucking fight, and that's the most viral video you ever get. But you be you, number one. Number two, the creative. As soon as you take that footage, you have to have a headline that that grabs them. So if you look at my headlines, it'll say something, and sometimes you watch a video, it doesn't really apply, but kinda. Well, that's because all that's supposed to do is get you to stop. So you have to have that creative in your content. Most people don't. They don't have any headlines and they don't have any subtitles. Well, people are scrolling silent. So when I'm scrolling by yours and I just see you walking by, it's just some dude walking by. But if I saw a headline that said fucking Andrew Tate's biggest secrets.
Right.
Oh,
The clickbait.
Let me see what this is. You might not even be talking about his fucking secrets, but it got me to listen and turn on the volume. Same thing with subtitles. So, and then hashtags, obviously. So that's the creative. Then there's the outlet. You want at least YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. You want all 6 of those. Okay. Then the next one is frequency. Frequency is 3 to 4 times a day. You got to be dropping videos on each of the platforms.
Are you doing that on YouTube?
Yeah. Well,
Nice.
no, on YouTube I do maybe 1 or 2 a day, but not because I don't want to do more.
Right.
It's because every time I tell my team, they're like, well, we don't have this. And so we're scaling it, but it's not as easy as it sounds. But
It's not.
if you can do 4 to 8 or 8 to 16, you'll be better off at 16. Why? Because the more, the better. The more content you drop, the better. 4 is like I used to do 1 or 2 a day, slow. As soon as I hit like 4 a day, boom, quadruple. So it's exponential. But 4 pieces of content a day per channel. People say that's 24 videos. That's a lot of videos. Yes, it is. And that is why the first thing I taught was the most important. If you just film yourself being yourself, you'll have so much content. You can make 90 videos out of it. But not if you don't have any footage. Like, dude, you have zero footage of you coming here.
Yeah, that's true.
And where are you going next?
It's true.
You have zero footage of that.
Yeah.
You don't have any footage on the way in the car when someone answers you and you fucking say, yeah, I was just over here and doing that. Fuck you, bro. Hey, fuck that. Whatever. Where's that content, bro?
Good. I'm glad we got them hired.
Doesn't exist.
Gotta make it.
Now it does. So when
That's
you
it.
blow up, bro, just give
Uncle
a shout out
Brad.
to the old Top G.
Yeah.
I'll give Andrew the Top G title.
you can just
I come up with my own.
Big G.
I ain't Uncle Brad though. I tell you that, motherfucker. That's Uncle G.
It
got
is
the
Uncle G, man.
Yeah, Grant's got the uncle. I'll be your brother. How about that?
All right, big bro.
I'll be like one of those brothers.
Big bro. Love it.
Folks, listen, you heard it. What's the gentleman's guide?
Yeah, man. I'm a big proponent of being a gentleman. So I want to put gentlemen on almost everything that I do, because I think that there's a misconception out there that people should be rude or mean or forceful with women. That's absolutely not true. So I like to lead with the word gentleman. It's very important to me. I'm Southern. I believe in opening doors. I believe in picking up the tab. I believe in being decisive. And I also think there's a level of class that comes with being a gentleman. So despite the truths that I put out in the world, I think there's always a classy way to achieve your message. So gentleman is something that's very important.
This says newsletter.
Yeah, I do have a newsletter. I have an email.
The Gentleman's Guide. Where do people subscribe to that?
Yeah, so you can get that on my Instagram. I'm posting a link in my Instagram stories 4 times a day.
You ain't
That
got a
way.
website?
I do. JustinWinwaller.com and
Justin One.
Justin Win. It's my middle name. Justin WINN Waller.com. You can also find me on Twitter at Waller7J, Instagram JWaller7, and of course YouTube at JWaller.
There you have it, folks. And take my shit, take my content, just go find it somewhere or hit me up. I'll give you a link to my drives. Just go post me up everywhere so I can be the new Top G. Since they canceled Andrew, I'll take his spot.
Man. Go follow Andrew on Rumble.
Andrew, you need to get on the show. Andrew, I know you're going to be watching this. If this is your boy, get on the show, bro. We'll break the internet. Appreciate you coming in.
I'll get you guys hooked up, man.
Folks, until next time, as always, keep it real.
Dropping bombs with the real Bradley. Subscribe now.